Cool. Okay, so we are jumping in today. We have our attendance, which I can post right here to everyone. Go ahead and take that attendance, please, if you have not already. Do you guys even like click my link, or do you just do it before I even get here? Half and half. Some people click. Some people already have it. Yeah, some people already got it loaded up. Sounds good. Oh, some people click. Great. Glad that I can help out. Cool. All right. So we have our agenda for today. Our agenda is a little bit different than normal. Normally we like to take notes and then do our assignment. If we have any extra time, which we have never yet had time. It is my life goal for Q1 to get you notes that end before the end of class, but I don't know. We'll see. It's not going to be today because there's no notes. Okay, so the agenda for today, we're going to talk about our quizzes and quiz grades. We're going to talk about the retake process in my class because it's a little bit different. We're going to talk about what our results were, like how did we do collectively as a class? What does that tell me as a teacher? And we're going to talk about what the next steps are for today's class. And we'll have some work time. So we should actually have some work time today. So the tests are graded. Woo! Sorry that it took me a week ago is when you took the test. It actually didn't take me that long, but we don't have class more than twice a week, so you didn't get it back yet. So you will notice when you look at your grade, it is kind of weird. You get a different grade for each question. The reason I do this is because I think it's really important that you know what you know and what you don't know. So, for example, on a traditional test, let's say the test had 2 questions on it, and you really understood one of them and you really didn't understand the other. You get 1 right and 1 wrong. That's 1/2, which is 50%. Basically, you would roll out of that test and be like, I flunked it. I failed the whole thing, totally failed, right? But that's not actually true. You actually really knew one thing and you really didn't know the other thing. And so it is important for me that you know what you know and what I know what you know and what you don't know. So for each question, you will get a different grade. So for this test that we just took, there were 5 questions, like 5 different topics. So you got actually 5 grades that you'll see in Illuminate and in Canvas. So for each question, I don't grade on a typical like number scale. I grade with A, B, C, and not yet. So A, if you got an A for that question, it means you did everything perfect. Everything looks great. You killed it. You got it. B means that you made a baby mistake. Typically in math, a lot of baby mistakes are like forgetting a negative, not reading the question correctly. You multiplied 4 times 2 and you got 10, and I was like, what? That's a baby mistake, right? So I go through and I decide, is this a baby mistake or is this a bigger mistake? If you made a bigger mistake, but you still understand, like it's still clear to me that you get it, then you get a C for that question. Okay, so you get an A for perfect, B baby mistake, C some bigger errors, but I still know that you know it. And not yet is like you didn't show mastery, you didn't get it, and that is totally okay. You're absolutely allowed to not get it, as long as we continue trying to get there. So the grade equivalents for each of these are 100%, 85%, 70%, and then not passing. So you'll see those grades when you look at Illuminate. So when you look at Illuminate, which it's broken, right? A lot of us can't access it. Illuminate. Some people can get in, some people can't. Okay. If you can't get into Canvas, or I'm sorry, can't get into Illuminate, it's fine. Yeah, not on the computer. I've heard you can only do it on your phone. That's the worst. I'm sorry. We already called Illuminate. Oh, it works on Safari. Interesting. We already called Illuminate and let them know, but they're like working on whatever glitch it is on their end. So keep using your phone or apparently Safari. If you are in Illuminate or in Canvas, you're going to see your grade like this, which is like quiz 5, I got a B, quiz 4, I got a not yet, quiz 2, I got an A, etc. Right? So I could say from this person's, so this person, if I just calculated their grade, they probably got like roughly like a 85-ish, right? Like roughly a B on this test. But like, what does that even mean? I don't know. but they got, what they really got was like, they really know how to do quiz 1 and 2. They're decent on quiz 5, sort of decent on quiz 3, and they really don't know how to do quiz 4. So that's much better information for me. Are there any questions about the ABC not yet thing? It is very similar to Ms. Velasquez grades, although not exactly the same. Questions? I'm seeing blank stares. Probably means no. Okay, cool. Okay, sweet. We are done with talking about quiz grades. We're now going to talk about the retake process. So the retake process is this. You first take the quiz and you get your grade back. We all did that. Great. Woohoo. Everybody took the quiz. Great job. The second part that we're going to do is you're going to see which ones you didn't get. So I made a video, attached it on YouTube and into your Canvas. And this is how to check your rubrics on Canvas to see what you got wrong. So because you guys uploaded a picture, I actually annotated right on, like circled things and boxed things right on the thing that you submitted. So the way that you get there is by clicking the view feedback button, but I made a video to show you how to get there, and that is linked on Canvas. Okay, so you're gonna see which ones you didn't get, and then you can check the rubric and see what your like ABC not yet score was. After you know which one you want to retake, you're going to do practice problems and then a retake. So the practice problems, most of them you do 8 practice problems, and you complete those 8 practice problems, and then you earn a retake, right? So it doesn't make any sense for you to fail the quiz and then just immediately take another retake. Like that's a waste of everyone's time because you've learned nothing since then, right? So you have practice problems, and then once you complete the practice problems, then you can do the retake. So your retake will look like a Google form that says ready for a Precalc retake. On this retake, you will have to submit your pictures of the practice problems before you can take the retake. Okay, so the first page will ask you for the practice problems, and then the second page will give you the actual retake question. Okay. Are there any questions about the process for retaking? You can come off mute, you can raise your hand, you can type it. Cool. Okay, we've already taken the quiz. The next step is going to be to look up and see which ones we need to do, then practice problems, then retake. So that is the retake process. Woohoo, we're done. Let's talk about our collective results. So our collective results, on quiz 1, we got a 97%, like us all together got a 97%. That is a bomb score. I think we're good on parent function. Number 2, we got a 95. That's still a bomb score. I'm here for it. Transformations, we were feeling it. Quiz 3, we took a little bit of a dip and went to 88. This was our like function notation, plugging things in. I saw a lot of baby mistakes here, which is what I was accounting for. I'm still okay with 88, but we're there. For 4 and 5, we sort of like tanked off and went towards 80. 80 is still a great score for us like collectively, but a lot more retakes to be done on numbers 4 and 5. This was domain and range, and this was like increasing, decreasing. What this tells me is we just need a little bit more work on interval notation. So that's what we will work on today. So those were our results. So next steps, what we're gonna do next is threefold. Number 1, we're going to fill out the check-in form. So the check-in form will lead you through like how to like double check what all of your grades were, right? Number 2, you're gonna work on the practice problems for the retake that you wanna do. And then number 3, you're gonna actually take the retake today. So what you're actually going to turn in today is that you're gonna do the check-in form. That will be like one part of your grade. You're gonna submit a retake, and then you're gonna tell me what you did in the submission box on that page. So it should be a fairly simple process for today. If you got A's, B's, and C's, right? Like let's say you're passing all of them, you should just work on your lowest one. If you got a not yet, you should start with your not yet. Even if you got, just because like this is the process and I want us to get used to the process, even if you got like all A's and 1 B, I still want you to retake that 1 B today, right? Like if you got a B, I understand it was a baby mistake, but you should still do practice problems and take the retake. Okay. Are there any questions about that process? All right, Walter, what is the first thing we're going to do when I say go? What do we need to do first?
Fill out the week 6 grade check-in.
Yes, fill out the week 6 grade check-in. Absolutely. Christine, what do we need to do after that? See typing, awesome. After the check-in form, we are going to, oh no, frozen. Uh-oh, I think we lost Christine. Anybody help us out? What are we gonna do after the form? David Lopez, what are we gonna do after the form?
Complete at least one retake or turn in one missing assignment.
Yes, one retake or one missing assignment. Yes, and then how will I know that you have done this? What are you going to submit in the box? Data E, what are we gonna submit in the box?
Whether either what test you took or if you're going to do a missing assignment.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so since we're gonna start with a grade check-in form, I'm gonna put on a 5-minute timer. I'm gonna have everyone fill in the check-in form right now, and then I am going to do a workshop on number 5. I'm gonna do a workshop on number 5 since that was our lowest score. Do a workshop on number 5, starting in 5 minutes. Okay, and then after that, I'll do a workshop on number 4. Okay. If you have any questions, you can chat them to me. I will answer them in the next 5 minutes. Otherwise, you are working on your grade check-in form. Go for it. Okay, team. In about 1 minute, I'm going to jump into a workshop on number 5. A workshop on number 5. So if you need to work on number 5, for me to retake it, you're welcome to jump into our workshop. If you would prefer to work on your own, then I am totally okay with that. I'm actually going to let you jump off the call if you would prefer to work on your own, just so we have just the people who need to be here. So if you want to work on number 5, then work on number 5. We're going to do it right now. If you want to work on number 4, we might have a chance. Whoa, there's my timer. We might have a chance to get to it during this call, so you can stay on if you want. But if you want to come back for office hours, that's probably a good time to work on number 4 as well. So number 5, we're going to do a workshop right now. If you don't want to do 4 or 5, you can jump off and work on your own. Does that make sense? Any questions before I let you guys go? Yeah, I will upload it as soon as it loads. I'll upload the recording. Cool. Okay, so if you're not working on 4 or 5, you can jump off. If you're working on 5, we're going to get started on this one here. You can jump in, and it gives people about 30 seconds to log off if they need to or want to. All right. Cool. Okay, so for number 5, this was the one where we were talking about increasing, decreasing, decreasing, and constant. And then this is also the one where we were talking about above the x-axis and below the x-axis. So there are sort of like 5 different situations for this graph. So if this is the graph of k of x, increasing would be going up, decreasing, of course, going down. Where it says where k of x is equal to 0, that's going to be your x-axis. So right here, and right there. Of course, my Wi-Fi dropped out, so my screen share died, because that's exactly what we need to happen right now. Let's see. Give it 1 second. Okay. So we have increasing, decreasing, where it's equal. And then these ones down here, this is saying where k of x is greater than 0, this would be above the x-axis. And then where it says k of x is less than 0, that would be below the x-axis. Because we're thinking about like if k of x is measuring, this is really a graph of x. And you know how normally it says y? This is actually, we're no longer calling this y, we're calling this k of x. It means the function k at x, okay? So if we want to know the intervals where it's increasing, I'm going to look for the places where the graph is going up. If you need to imagine a little dude, and you can say like, okay, if he's traveling this direction, when does he have to go up the hill, right? He has to go up the hill from -5 to -3. I'm measuring on the x-axis, right? So from here to here, he has to go up, right? So from -5 to -3. Go ahead and use parentheses there. And then he goes flat and then down and then flat, and then he goes up again. He goes up again at this portion right here, and that is from 3 to 4. So from 3 to 4, he's also increasing. From 3 to 4. So for the green portion of the graph there, that is where he is increasing. Okay. He is also decreasing at some point. He's decreasing at this pink section here and this pink section over here. So he's decreasing, I would say that he's decreasing from here to here. For this whole portion of the graph, he's decreasing. And what portion is that? It's from the 0 on the x to 2 on the x. So I'd say he's decreasing from 0 to 2. And he's decreasing from 4 to 5. from 4 to 5, like that. So he's decreasing from 0 to 2 and from 4 to 5. So you can see for those pink portions of the graph, he's decreasing. They don't ask this question, but if they did ask this question, like where is it constant? Constant is flat. So we would say from -3 to 0, this portion, and from 2 to 3, this portion here. Right, so they don't ask that question, but they might. Okay. How are we feeling? People on my screen, give me a thumbs up if you're feeling good. Thumbs sideways if you're like, I have a question or whatever. Some digital thumbs up, some regular thumbs up. Love it. Thank you. Okay, so then they're asking for what value is k of x equal to 0. That's these points right here, like here, here, and here. Like where does it equal the x-axis? Like where is it flat? So those numbers are -4, 1, and +4. And the way that we write these is we put the squiggly bracket instead, like the parentheses and the bracket mean like from this number to this number. The squiggly ones mean at these specific points. So we can put as many points as we need to in there. So one of the answers on the test was just like 3, and you could write it like this, right? That would be if it was touching the x-axis at just 3. But since it's touching at 3 different points, we put all 3 different points there. Notice again, we don't care about the y-axis, right? We don't care that it's like at -4, 0, or 1, 0, or 4, 0. We don't care about those things, right? They're asking for what values, so they're asking just for specific numbers. They're always talking about x, right? Always at x. Okay. Sweet. So then for this next one, they're saying for what intervals of x is k of x greater than 0? So like where is the graph above the x-axis? So I would say the portion of the graph that's above the x-axis is this portion here, right? And they're again talking about the x-axis, talking about from -4 until +1. From -4 to +1. That's the portion where it is above the x-axis. And then for where is it below the x-axis, I'm gonna say from this part here, and then this part here, and then this part right here. Right, so there's actually 3 portions of this graph because it's this portion here, and then it skips all this red stuff up here, and then this yellow part here, but then right there at that point it's equal to 0. It's not less than 0. So we have to stop it right there and then pick it up again right here. So for the first portion, for this portion here, I would say from -5 to -4. So from -5 to -4. And then a U. And then for the next portion, I'm going to talk about this portion here, from 1 until 4. So from 1 to 4, it's underneath there. And then at 4, it's equal to 0. So we can't count 4, but then we can count after 4. So we would say, okay, U, and then we would say 4. It starts again right after like 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. It starts again and goes until 5. So we have 5 here. And I'm going to put a bracket on 5. The reason I'm putting a bracket on 5 is because that point, at that exact point, it is a closed circle and it is below the x-axis. Right? It will always be below the x-axis, always be closed. So that is the only time I'm going to use a bracket in this case. Okay. What questions, if any, do we have? Feel free to come off mute. No questions so far? Okay, if you're feeling Gucci, I want you to go ahead and try this next one here. So this next one here. So looking for increasing, decreasing, k of x equals 0, k of x is less than or greater than 0, k of x is less than 0. Go ahead and try that. I'll give you about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then we can go over each of them. Is there anyone who could help us with where's the graph increasing? So the graph, if I'm thinking about the little dude again, right? He would be going downhill here, but then he would be going uphill. He'd be going uphill on this section of the graph. And then he's going to go uphill forever and ever and ever. So he starts going uphill right here at 0. And then he continues going uphill forever and ever and ever and ever. Like that. Right, so it's not just that like he's going up, and that's why we're saying to infinity, but actually because he's going like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? He's going on the x-axis. He's going forever to possibly infinity. That would be my increasing. For decreasing, right, headed down, right? So headed downhill right here for this section of the graph. So starting at negative infinity over here, going from negative infinity, and he's decreasing, 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 decreasing until he gets to 0. And at 0, he starts increasing. So that is when we would stop. Miriam, I love this question. The line that are made of many lines, are there points just in the line? Miriam, I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Each of the lines that we're seeing are many, many points put together. Like 2.1, like this is like 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 3, etc. Right? Like these are all like little points here. When we're writing the interval notation, we're talking about like from one place to another, because we don't want to have to write down all of those different numbers. I don't know if I answered it.
Miss,
Yes.
does it matter like the order of the coordinates? Like, cause you know how you put for the first one you put the infinity sign like second, and for the second one you put the infinity sign first. Does it like matter, like the order?
Doesn't matter. The order should go from least to greatest. So from negative infinity, the big negative numbers, small negative numbers, 0, small numbers, big numbers, positive infinity.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, because your like domain and range should always go from left to right, which would be your smallest numbers to your biggest numbers. You're asking for the image for the retake. Miriam, can you wait 4 minutes until I'm done with this one and then we can talk about it? I'm not 100% sure. Great, cool. Okay, team. So then what are the places where this graph hits the x-axis? What are the numbers? -5 and 5, yeah. So you're right, -5 and +5. So -5 and +5. But I don't want to say that it's touching from -5 all the way to +5. I want to say just at those points. So I use the bracket. Like that. Right, so I'm going to use the bracket. Cool. So then where is it greater than 0, right? It's greater than 0 anytime that it's up here, right? And then it's less than 0 anytime that it's down here, right? So greater than 0, if I'm thinking about greater than 0, it's from negative infinity all the way until it reaches right here at -5. And then it stops being greater until it gets to +5, and then it goes to positive infinity. So I would write negative infinity until -5, and also from 5 until positive infinity. And then where is it less than? It'd be less than down here. Less than is down there. So for that section of the graph, that would be from -5 to +5. So we would want to write from -5 to +5. Right. Notice these answers look very similar, but the brackets tell us that this one means just the points, and this one here means from -5 to +5. Okay. Okay. Bye, Gally. Okay, team. I'm going to pause there. You should have the answers right here. And they are, I believe, pretty much in order. So like the ones we just did are here, here, 5 and 5, this one, and that one. So for the next ones, you should be able to tell which ones sort of go with which ones to check your own work. What you are going to do when you're finished with these two is you're going to take a picture of your work or take a screenshot if you're doing it on computer. You're going to upload that into the retake form, and then you'll take a 1-question retake. Okay, 1-question retake. That is it for today. I'm going to let you guys peace out. Your job is to complete 1 retake today. Okay. Bye, guys. I know it's hard to be virtual. I wish we could all hang out. So I'll see you. Bye. Bye. Okay, Miriam. You're talking about the retake for like on the actual like retake question?
Yeah, for the retake of quiz 5.
Quiz 5. Let me go look at it. Thank you for being patient.
Yeah.
Quiz 5. Okay, which one are you doing? Are you doing increasing, decreasing, or is it about all of them?
No, it's just the line, like I'm not sure if it's like, how do I say it? 3 different lines that would determine that I need to use the U on my answer, or if it's like just the points of where the line meets like a certain coordinate.
Good question. Okay, so the U would only mean if there was an open circle in your graph. And since there's no open circles here, you don't need to use the U just when you're like switching. But like, okay, so like it's increasing for a certain place and then it's increasing in a different place, right?
Yes.
And there's like a gap in between where it was increasing and then it's increasing again, right?
Yeah.
So in that situation, you would use the U even though they are like, it's not an open circle.
Oh, okay. So the open circles determine if there's like different like lines, like say one that's increasing and then one that's going straight, right?
The open circle just means that the function doesn't exist at that exact point. So that's why, like, if we're talking about domain, we're saying like the function is between 4 and -4 and 4, but it doesn't include this point in the middle. So we would use a U. We'd say like, okay, it's this part and also this part, but not that little part in the middle. But for this graph, oh, go ahead.
So the line that we're seeing right now is like a solid one, right? Like it's all together.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So I would say like the domain of this function is from -1 until, what is that, 7.
Yeah.
But there's no gaps between -1 and 7.
Yeah.
There's no open circle. There are some, but like it does go up and then stop. That's where you're gonna use a U and then start again with the up. So both.
Yeah. I see that now.
Okay.
You.
You're welcome. No problem. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.